HiSec Buyback offers 90% GDA anywhere in HiSec. Simply go to hisec.evebuyback.com, appraise your items, create a contract, and get paid quickly.
And you're live.
Welcome to Talking Stations. It is December 9th, and today we're going to talk about EVE Online's new winter event. It's called Nexus, Winter Nexus. We'll get into it, what details there are about that, and we'll also talk about some of the wars that are going on in EVE Online, some of the bigger fighting that's going on in NullSec. Okay, I'm here with Nick Bison. How are you doing, Nick?
Hey, it's a good evening.
Let's have a look at the event, which was announced today. It's called Winter Nexus, and this is the same event they had last year around the same time. It has the 13 days of Christmas, which means there are login rewards. Every time you log in, you can get an award, and they have an award for an Omega, a subscribed account, and also for Alphas, which are non-subscribed accounts. So if you're Omega, you get both. If you're an Alpha, you only get one. And not only that, but they also have a bunch of little festivities that they do, and we'll go through those in just a second. One thing you should know, though, last year when they did this, it was actually very lucrative. So probably the most lucrative event that EVE Online has really seen. So we don't know what the reward system looks like yet, but it might be another time where they decide that the end of the year holidays are the best time to give out really generous PvP rewards or whatever else. Okay, let's have a look at it. Let's see. Festive Capsuleers Winter Nexus Holiday returns for another season from now, that's today, the 9th, until January 4th. Bringing some welcome cheer to pilots across New Eden. The nights are drawing in, it's getting colder out there, and so it's a perfect time to come together and enjoy some festivities with some festive fun with friends. As the snow settles around, okay, marketing. Okay, let's go to what they're doing. Volatile ice storms. Now, these are back again from last year. As you know, EVE Online is a giant space landscape with thousands of systems, and one of the things that they devised recently over the last year were space storms. So there's various types of space storms out there. You can see them on the map if you select the criteria to see them. You see where they're at, and they're slow moving, and they move in a methodical way. So they kind of follow. It's random what direction they're going to go, but they are always moving just a system or two, and so they move slowly. These are volatile ice storms. These are a little bit different. So, and this area, the ice storms, are where some of the combat is that you want to go and find, because that's where the loot drops are and all that stuff. So here it is, volatile ice storms. These chilling ice storms travel throughout HiSec, LowSec, and NullSec, offering pilots a chance to tackle unique challenges this holiday season. The seasoned white storm combat sites found in these pockets of space are sure to provide pilots with a frosty reception, while the white storm hacking sites will be available for the inquisitive to explore. Enter these storms in a mining or hauling ship, and you'll be able to take part in a special volatile ice field mining sites. By mining ice and delivering it to the friendly NPCs inside the storm, you'll be able to earn valuable reward packages. Whatever sort of storm you find yourself in, you'll be able to take advantage of special bonuses, allowing you to overheat your modules for longer. Okay, so that's one of the cool things is we just a day or two ago, we had a giant expansion to mining, and the mining has been all reconfigured. So there's a lot of excitement around that actual profession in the game. And there's a lot of skill points that were given out to players that had previous mining skills. So they can pour that SP right back into mining and get out there and take advantage of this mining inside of ice storms. So this winter goes with that theme. If you're a new player, mining is made a lot better for new players. You can get into the action pretty quickly, and it doesn't take long to be mining pretty well. So check that out. Okay, the second thing is seasonal rewards and daily challenges. By taking part in the Ice Storm activities, you'll earn points to unlock a series of rewards, including new skins and boosters. I've had a look at those. Let's see if I can bring those up. No, they're not listed. I have to bring up a client. But they look pretty good. They're, I believe, the Aurora. Oh no, Aurora Arabellis. What are the northern lights called?
Aurora Borealis.
Borealis. Okay. Sometimes I just make things up.
It's Aurora. The skin is the Aurora Universals.
Thank you. I knew it wasn't Northern Lights or whatever those are technically called. But okay, so those are the skin names, and those are actually kind of cool. They actually have some animation around them, but they're more like a blue, purple. They're made to kind of go with Northern Lights that you would see if you lived in, who knows, really northern parts of the world. By the way, those Northern Lights are created by radiation coming off the sun. So I know they're beautiful, but it's kind of scary if you think about it. Just waves of like solar radiation. Okay, so back to this seasonal rewards and daily challenges. The Chilling Spree is also making a welcome comeback in 2021. For each day of the festive season, you'll be given a challenge to sling snowballs at your fellow pilots. Do so successfully, and you'll be rewarded with bonus skill points. Now, I don't know if you guys have played with snowballs, but I think they appeared like in 2010, 2011. And what used to happen is that everybody for Christmas would get a few gifts, and they were usually like little trinkets in the game. And they were just kind of funny things about that year. So you would have like, I don't know, let's Elise Randolph's book of, Sword Dragon's Book of Diplomacy, or Elise Randolph's, reindeer horns, or something that kind of like was inside joke to EVE Online players. They were just little trinkets, but among those were snowballs and a snowball launcher. And so you could lock people up in HiSec and throw a snowball at them without getting destroyed by the authorities. And it was kind of funny because the person that is locked up and has a snowball thrown at them doesn't know or understand that it's a benign object. They just hear their ship get rattled and shaken by something that hit them, and they freak out because when they're in HiSec, they think they're totally immune to being attacked. And all of a sudden they're locked, shot, and they're shaking like crazy, although they're not taking any damage, and they freak out. People freak out. They used to. So back then, the snowballs had a lifespan. So in January, they would melt, and the object would change from snowballs to melted snowballs, and they were good for nothing. So that's how it used to work a long time ago. But now I think the snowballs just kind of exist forever, I think. And so that's some of the things that you get to do is go. They're asking you to go and throw snowballs at each other, basically have a snowball fight. This would be a good time to mention there's actually a player organized snowball fight. Let's see if I have some information on that.
That's this Sunday, isn't it, in Luminaire?
That's right. Sunday, Luminaire. Thank you. And we're going to, not this Sunday, it's actually next Sunday. This Sunday, we're going to be talking to the organizer, Commander A9, and I think he's an incursion guy. So this Sunday on our Talking in Stations podcast, we'll talk to him, among other things that we cover, and he'll tell us about that snowball fight that will happen a week from this Sunday in Luminaire. Thanks for that, Nick. Okay, the next thing is the 13 days of Nexus. And this is the login rewards, one every day for 13 days, basically up until the 24th. There are plenty of goodies given away as well. A selection of skill points, boosters, Aurora Universalis skins, there it is, and fireworks will be gifted across the festive period. You'll be able to grab special Storm Chaser filaments, providing instant access to a random ice storm system. Simply log in each day, collect a new gift. Be sure to log in for at least 13 days of the Winter Nexus celebration to grab them all. I believe there's a grace period. Let's bring this up. If you miss a few days, it's okay. You can get back on it. So you'll see here that, let me make that bigger.
Yeah, there's 26 days to collect 13.
Wow, that's very generous grace period. Sometimes the grace period is only like 3 days. But if you have 13 days of grace period, that's great. But, holidays, right? So as you can see here, this is just a partial view of what is available since there's 13 days and this goes up to 7. But if you hit this little thing here called, well, right next to default view, you see those little arrows? If you tap that, you'll be able to go into the future and see what you get awarded on day 8, 9, 10, up to 13. So that's how you can see what's coming ahead. And then you can hover over any of these to find out what they actually do. What I've noticed from the boosters that I was looking at, first of all, these are skill points, these little things. And that's the filament. And so here you have these boosters, and each booster is different. And I think there's a lot of, correct me if I'm wrong, but lasers being boosted in this Nexus. So a lot of enhancement to damage on lasers. Also, I believe enhancement to afterburner. And finally, I think at the end there is one of the final boosters, one of the most potent prizes you get if you make it up to day 13, is a booster for reducing your heat damage by, I think, 25% or something. That is, if you overheat your module and you have that booster on, it won't be taking as much damage. So those are pretty cool. All right. AutoBeat gifted. Hey, Sudicon, thank you very much for the gift. And Valamir, you too. Thank you guys. You guys, I just love seeing you guys in chat. That's gift enough, but I appreciate the extra goodwill there. Thank you. And Space Gator too. I love recognizing names of people who watch Talking Station. So you should write something in chat so that I start to see your name and can remember. All right, so that is some of the stuff. Let's see what else it says about that. Oh, that was it for the Nexus, the 13 days of Nexus. So you need to log in to get those, and that's all you need to do. You don't actually have to get all the way into the game. So next thing is the Winter Abyssal Proving Ground. This is basically arena fighting, if you're into that sort of thing. So you'll also be able to go toe-to-toe with your fellow pilots in the Abyssal Proving Ground event themed around the special ice storm environments. You'll have new opportunities to overheat your modules for longer and get a bigger speed boost from afterburner modules too. So you can see they synchronize the daily login rewards with some of the bonuses you get in the arena. Here are the formats that will be tackled throughout the festive season. So December 10th through 14th will be 2-on-2 frigates, assault frigates. It's very specific, assault frigates. So grab a friend and get in on that. Then on the 18th of December, 1-on-1 Navy frigates. And then they take a break, right, for the holidays. And then on the 31st through the end of the event, which is January 4th, the Ewell T1 Cruiser, 4-player free-for-all. So that's 4 players and you attack each other until one person ends up alive. So that is what's going on in that arena. So one more event here is the festive Yule Star Bundle. And I believe that's a sales offer. And apparently these are pretty good. I've heard these are pretty good. Compare them. I've heard they're comparable to the Galaxy bundles of before that were kind of popular. So you might want to check those out. From Friday until January. So they're not ready yet. These are, it says from today, my bad. So again, from today till January 4th, you'll be able to buy a special Yule Star bundle featuring thoroughly festive ship skins and character apparel, 14 days of Omega, half a month, 100,000 skill points, cerebral accelerators, which make you learn your skills faster, and fireworks and more. The Yule Star skins are returning to the New Eden store until the 4th, as well as popular Astero and Stratios skins. You'll be able to find festive makeovers for more ships than ever before. Light your lucky stars with these special skins and enjoy watching them charge up from December 12th, from 12 December, before they burst into full glory on the 25th of December. I'm not sure what that means. Do you know? Let me know in chat if you do. But I think that they may glow a certain way throughout those days. All right, and then the holiday skin giveaway, free with Eve merch store purchases. So if you buy a hat for Eve online through the merchandise store, you could get some of this stuff. And some of the skins include Merlin Operation, Permafrost skin, the Omen Permafrost, Hurricane Permafrost, or Megathron Permafrost skins. So there you go, a couple of sales offers and some activities. But the big thing here is the volatile ice storms. That's where you want to go and fight some stuff. Now you get filaments that take you right into those storms. So that's how you get into them. And you should get those right off the bat. Or you'll probably find those on the market for people that don't want to use them. They'll probably sell them. I think they can be sold. All right. Industry patch talk. Let's go to that since that patch just came out on Tuesday. Nick, I'm glad you're here. You're the guy I would want to talk to about this, aside from Kenneth, but we don't want to overexpose him. You're not a CSM member, which gives us a different perspective. You're also a different kind of industrialist. So real talk, now that Kenneth's not here, industry patch, what do you think?
Overall, initially, I'm kind of digging it. It's a change, and to the old dynamic. And I'm kind of enjoying that. I did manage to pick up a couple of the blueprints for the large industrial core to slap them on an Orca or two, and get out there and check out the differences between how it affects me personally between mining with the T1 strippers, T2 with the.
You want to rephrase that? Just
yeah. But, and then, just how the different effects are. And now that I've got the new industrial core on there, I'm going to go back out this weekend when I get a little time and basically redo all my tests again. Some of the things that I really liked, and it was an error, was, we popped into one of the ice belts, and everything's doubled. A little bit of an oops on that. The blocks of ice, scattered over a much wider area and were huge. They were like not as bad as the old days, but they were they went from the 90 to 120 units of ice in one to in the thousands. And we sat out there for 6 hours and didn't even make a dent in that freaking belt. That was an issue. And then on Wednesday, they were all gone. None of them respawned. They all went away in the Glente area that I was at in Sync Liaison. And then I hadn't been able to talk to any of the guys since I got home from work tonight to see what they're back, if they got them back under control or not. The other piece that I really found interesting was the normal asteroid belts that folks generally mine in HiSec, usually in a crescent shape. They're in a ball. Basically a sphere, and they're big. If you had even if you didn't have a bookmark, if you're one of the folks that like warp to the 0 at that site, that'll put you in the middle. I was out there testing that late last night, did warp to 100 to that location, and I was right on the edge of the belt, and they were huge. And it takes some work. You're going to be moving around. You're not going to sit in one spot and clean a belt anymore.
Yeah, I've heard the hitbox was off. So the asteroid might be twice the size that it should be, but the hitbox was 3 times the size. So you could basically approach to 0 and still be pretty far off the asteroid. It was just a visual bug, like they needed to fix that.
Yeah, my first experience when I first realized that was I'd taken my little group and did a fleet warp to 10 from a bookmark that was on the edge of the old asteroid field. Well, now I'm in the midst of it, and we all landed inside of a massive Veldspar rock. So it starbursted us out. That was the fastest it's the only time I've ever had an orca go faster than 10 kilometers a second.
Yeah,
It took me 180 kilometers to stop that damn thing.
Oh, those cows are slow. So Space Gator wants to know if he's going to get the TIS discount from Nick on the Orca core, I think is what he's referring to.
Yeah, Gator, you know I always take care of you, brother. Just hit me up in game.
Well, okay, so you're just getting acquainted with it. I mean, you've obviously been keeping up with what was proposed to happen, but the thing just got into the game last Tuesday. People are adapting to it like you are, kind of seeing, what the reality of the things is. What I've noticed from people that I've talked to is the complaining volume has gone pretty lower, which is okay. It means that maybe players that are busy trying to figure out, like, is this good or is this not good? But one thing I have heard is that you can mine faster. You're going to leave stuff out there. So if you're thinking like, I'm not completing these asteroid belts, this feels wrong, that may be something you're going to have to get used to. Even though you're mining faster, getting more, that you're not going to complete the belts like you used to.
Yeah, it's interesting you brought that up. I was speaking with Kenneth the other day. I actually took Tuesday off work just so I could be home for this first shot.
Oh.
And we were talking about it, and one of the things he had not realized is, I'm on that very small scale, and I got a little R4 moon. I can't mine it out and I've got the stability rig on there, so it's 72 hours. I don't have enough time to mine it out because of my playstyle, my time available. So I invite friends and other cores and locals, come on in and get what you can. In over a year now, we've mined it out exactly once. He'd never realized that because he's used to that big group that shows up and just hoovers that stuff up in pretty short order. So in this respect, with the roids being larger and the fill times being quicker, I can go to those type A crystals or type B, and I really don't care if I'm wasting a little bit because I'm pulling it in much faster in that same amount of time that I have available to mine. And I could never mine the damn thing out anyway.
Yeah. Anything you leave behind is considered waste anyway. So I think that was one of the things that might have adjusted as players actually got to touching the thing and working with it, that feeling that they're wasting minerals, they're not getting those minerals from the asteroids because they're being wasted. Or actually, they changed the name. It's not waste. We should probably say residue. They were leaving residue behind. Didn't sit well with them. But I think when they see the abundance, like you have to start to expect you're not going to be able to get everything. So the residue of the stuff that you are blasting doesn't really feel so bad. It's not such a feel bad moment.
No, and I had a couple folks ask, how can you, a lot of folks want to look at their combat log to see what the residue effect was. And to me, that's kind of icky. Pull open your personal mining ledger. It's all in there. They added a residue column. So it's a lot quicker and you can see it's easier to figure out, how your percentage is hitting. If you're up to a 30%, I'm just pulling that out my backside, probability of waste, then you should see it about every third cycle that comes through. Mine was actually a little lower than that. I had a lucky run, basically.
Oh. Well, cool. So there's some questions here that we are meant to explore. We may save this for tomorrow, actually, but some of the impact on raw goods. Do you have any opinions on that?
No, not yet. I don't. I had to be real honest. I haven't looked at it enough.
Yeah. I mean, it's only been a couple days, so we won't see anything near stable markets for a while. And what I mean is, if people are mining more and minerals to be more plentiful and therefore cheaper, we're not going to see that for a while. But if you have speculators working on the assumption that something's going to look a certain way, and they're getting in on it early, that is probably what we would be seeing right now, which wouldn't necessarily be the true characteristic of where it's going to end up. It's more just like the reaction. But I think the reaction is kind of calm. We'll have to look at that. The impact of faction ships, caps, and supers. Now, capital ships are going to be easier to build because they have lowered the requirement of planetary interactive materials. So those planetary mined materials, you need less of those to build the, I forget what the piece is that is the choke point basically for capitals. Therefore, if you need less items to build that, more can be built. Therefore, supply can go up. Therefore, the price can go down. We should be seeing an adjustment to capitals going down. But that change did not affect faction ships. So faction ships are being looked at, but they are not really.
Was that the core temperature regulator? Is the one that it was going? Yes. It was either that or the auto integrity preservation seal, and I don't remember which one.
It was the temperature one. I'm pretty sure.
Core temp regulator. Okay.
Yep, that's the one. I'm pretty sure. So we'll have to see later on how if that's enough to affect the capital ships. There is an additional change coming, probably in January or later, that CCP is looking at the weight of the M3, the cubic meters volume that planetary interactive materials take. And so if they reduce that weight, you'll be able to move more, therefore more get to the market, and more supply arrives, therefore price goes down. So you may see an adjustment there that might affect faction battleships or faction ships in general. Overall economic health, we'll have a look at it tomorrow. I didn't do any prep work on the economic stuff, so I can't just say off the top of my head what it looks like. Even if I did do prep work, I probably couldn't say that. But the only thing that we'd be seeing now is some massive speculation on items. And there are some new items, so you might see some price spikes. Anything new in the game is going to be spiked for price, and it will come down pretty rapidly. So we haven't seen, I don't know what maybe BPOs for the Orca cores are new.
Yeah, the large industrial core is the one, they 300 mil each is the BPO cost. I'm not sure how many have hit the market yet, but I imagine there's going to be quite the markup initially.
Initially, yeah. And those are going to be in the outer, the ore stations out there in Outer Ring.
Oh no! Actually, okay. I picked up the blueprints were available in Galente space. I actually found them a couple jumps out from me in Gel, kind of in the south of St. Glazon. So that was rather convenient.
Got it. Okay, I'm losing my voice. The curse is I can only talk I have a time limit before my voice goes. All right, we'll move on to player news. Let's move this up here. Oh, hang on a second.
Take a drink.
I forgot water.
I was going to say, lube your throat up there. Well, kind of waiting on that. Bombay in chat mentions that the ore was curious why the ore wasn't doubled in the ore anomalies like colossals. And I thought that they were, with the exception of certain ores. And I'll hit up Kenneth and ask that question, but I thought they were. If not, I'd report that to your CSM or to the GM side.
I'm not going to do these justice, but we'll go into them. So Curse has been active. The conflict looked like it is, the usual people out there. You have the Imperium and Imperium along with elements of the wrecking crew, like Purple Helmet Warriors, going up against Pandemic Horde and test with aid from Fire Coalition, it looks like. And this area might be where Fire Coalition is fighting Wrecking Crew, and that's been going on for a while. And so the Horde and Test groups would be backups on one side, and the Imperium would be backup on another. So this looks like it was about 100 billion ISK fight over a Fortizar. It looks like. I'm not exactly sure it is. And that looks like it went the way of the Wrecking Crew and Imperium, about 67% efficiency there as far as ISK lost. So they delivered more damage than they took. And it looks like the Fortizar is there, and it belongs to, can't really see who it belongs to. It looks like it was probably defensive, is my guess. So they would be coming out ahead on that one. We're also following up on Triumvirate, who's active again, and some of their fighting. This is a Fortizar that went down in Cloud Ring. So I think up there is Ranger Regiment and French Connection fighting with Triumvirate, if I'm not mistaken. Let's look at it.
A lot of initiative, too, from what I remember.
Yeah, it makes sense. They're all allies, but we'll look at the battle report this kill came from and see who was on it. Yeah, you have Dracarys. I think the reason it's Dracarys, maybe along with Ranger Regiment, is the late hours. I don't really see what was in this fight here. Looks very... Yeah, that's puzzling. I don't know why it looks that way. I'm not going to dwell because my voice is bothering. So we'll move on to, so there are two areas there. Curse, seeing some fighting going on there. We're going to get deeper into that over the weekend on the podcast report. And if you look over at Cloud Ring, the north, that's always an active area. Cloud Ring, Pure Blind, and those areas. You're going to see some fighting going on here. This is these Triumvirate's back, and it's kind of neat to see them. So that's a second conflict area. You'll also have a third conflict area in the north, and that is in Otsasi, or Otasai. And this is Fraternity basically kind of taking out Snuff's structures as they put them down. Now, Snuff says these are bait structures, and they'll put down 1,000 if they're going to get content out of it. But Otsasi is in Lonetrek, and it's very near the border of Fraternity space inside of Tribute. So MTACO is not far from Otsasi, and that's where they've been fighting. So Fraternity has been destroying Fortizars from Snuff and also losing ships in the process. But in this one, you had, let's see what it came to. Fraternity taking another beating. It looked Snuff actually dropped dreads. And I don't see the Fortizar here, so I don't know if it anchored. But we'll see. This is the third Fortizar they've dropped in pretty much as many days. So they'll... now, the thing is, there's a station in Otsasi, so there's no reason really for Snuff to be dropping a Fortizar. It's more of a reason, something to fight over, than it is a strategic position that they want to possess with, dropping of a structure. So we'll see what happens there. It's again Fraternity versus Snuff. We've seen that for a while now.
Well, isn't there a frat Keepstar in Otsasi?
Yeah, there's a Keepstar. That was on the kill mail. Yeah, here's the Fortizar as it was onlining. This was a couple days ago or yesterday. And there is a Keepstar. It should have been on that. No, this is a different. Where is it? This is a different kill mail, but there is a Keepstar on it. And of course, Keepstar is no danger, but it was on this kill mail. or this battle report, actually. So we will look into these battles and give you more context on the 3 conflict zones that are pretty heavy right now. Some legitimate fighting going on in all those. And that we'll talk about maybe tomorrow, if not on Sunday during the podcast. All right. I think my voice is a little better. Nick, do you have anything else?
Just damn glad to be here.
All right. So Sunday is going to be the podcast version of Talking in Stations. We'll talk to Villy. We'll talk to Sutonia. We'll talk to Kenneth Feld. These are 3 powerhouse CSM members, do a ton of number crunching and work on behalf of CCP to really mellow out a lot of the changes that come to the game. It's not to say they control the anything that CCP does, but they do a lot of the actual advising on what real world situations looks like. And, they're familiar with the patch in a very strong way. So these guys are very involved, and we're going to talk to them on Sunday. We'll also, as I said before, be talking to Commander A9, talk about that annual snowball fight that happens in Luminaire. That will happen a week from Sunday. And and then there'll be more than that as we wrap up this year. We're going to start doing the reviews about what happened this year and what some of the big stories were and that sort of thing. And then we'll have holidays. And then after that, we'll actually do the Talking in Stations most influential awards that we do every year to let you guys know who influenced the year and how they influenced it. Okay. Also, one more announcement. Carneros is doing an updated returning pilots reorientation stream on Twitch TV. Sorry, Twitch on Twitch/CCP. That is CCP's Twitch TV. This is on Saturday, December 11th at 19:30. So that is mostly US EU time zone. You'll be able to kind of catch up on what's changed since you've been gone if you're a new player. Sorry, if you're a returning player, not a new player. And that is all we have for today. We will see you tomorrow on Talking in Stations.